works. Call the number.
Call now for your free CD, 800-578-6279. 800-578-6279.
Day after day, alone on a hill, the man with the foolish.
All right, here's the deal. Reverend Manning's going to be with us 30 minutes into the next hour. You'll get a chance to talk to him, and I'm going to news blitz, play a bunch of audio and video clips, and break down a whole bunch of really important news we haven't gotten to yet. I've spoken some about it, but I want to spend more time about the Supreme Court ruling. I wanted to actually go read the ruling. And it's as I thought. It lets corporations give all the money they want, but it appears that the limitations, because they write these vague so they can expand their power, are still on private individuals giving money, but not on corporations. I mean, this is a perfect storm of evil. That is coming up, the latest on Haiti. But now listen, every time I have a special guest on and I say it's specifically for questions for them, people call in about anything but. We do this maybe once or twice a week. I say, for this guest, if you want to talk to them, specifically questions about what they're doing or questions to them, 1-800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231. We'll have open phones later on whatever issues you want to talk about. But right now it's for Reverend Manning. Reverend Manning, looking at this country and all the lies, and we've really got 20+% unemployment. They say it's 10.2. They tell us the economy's getting better when it's clearly getting worse. They are just openly attacking the Second Amendment on every front, while then saying we don't want your guns. But then all these White House czars say they want a total ban on guns. All these White House czars openly saying they like Mao, but they're not communists. They're just a bunch of crooks. I mean, and then meanwhile you're getting demonized in the media, calling this treason, but you are seeing an awakening out there. Are you worried, though, that Republicans are co-opting the Tea Parties and basically defanging them?
Let me answer your last question first. I am convinced that the Tea Party is controlled opposition, perhaps more conspiratorial than the puppet masters that are pulling Obama's string. I mean, it is horrendous to watch Americans go down the primrose path of thinking somehow or another the Tea Party group is going to change Washington in any way whatsoever. But the other thing I think that I'm also noticing in America, and a lot of criticism has been leveled at me, that I am a person that's advocating overthrow the government through violent means. Of course, the Constitution does provide, under the right set of circumstances, to overthrow tyranny.
Declaration of Independence, sure.
Yes. But because I have been stating that I sense in America that a number of people feel that they have been pushed to the limits of their sense of being an American. They've been pushed to the limits. Their freedoms are being curtailed, if not being taken completely, and being marginalized. Big business is being given the slogan "too big to fail," while poor people are failing, or everyday working people are failing and being foreclosed. And I've been stating that the only way that we can clean house, not only must we remove Obama, but we must remove the power system and the structure that allows him to function, and the puppet masters, and that requires a revolution. I mean, it isn't just about moving Obama. You take out George Bush and put in Obama, and you've got the same problems going on. You take out Obama and put in anybody else, unless the entire system is clean, and that takes a revolution. And people have stated, well, I'm advocating violence, that, I'm about a violent spirit, and therefore people like the Tea Party people who come in. I was invited to speak at the Tea Party event on 9/12 in Washington, D.C., and a couple of weeks before the event, they called me up and canceled me and stated that I'm too incendiary, I'm too fiery, that I'm advocating violence and overthrow of the government, and on and on and on they went. But that's where we are with that process right now. But the truth of the matter is, America must be clean. There must be a revolution in this nation, Alex. Otherwise,
well, but the question is, what type of revolution? Well, I mean, there's no doubt there's been a globalist revolution overthrowing our republic.
America's #1 source for independent talk radio for over a decade. We are the GCN Radio Network.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Halfway into this worldwide transmission against tyranny, and we have Reverend James Manning of ATLAH.org joining us. Pastor James David Manning. Again, ATLAH.org, ATLAH.org. Our websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. In the next segment, we're going to open the phones up to Pat, Julio, Isaac, Tracy, Mark, and others to talk to the pastor. Look, when you talk about revolution, they know they're forcing the people into physical confrontation, so they built up Northcom Homeland Security to get everybody used to giving up their rights to fight foreign, supposed made-up boogeymen terrorists. But really, we have the Homeland Security MIAC reports. It's all designed for the American people, libertarians, conservatives, people that want to end the Fed, the birthers. You know, it's all in there. People to get us out of the UN sticker. It's clearly un-American. It's clearly a secret police. But I think they want violent confrontation. That's why they provocateur it. But I do think we need a revolution of boycotts, of protest, of educating people, of saying no, of taking over the state governments through the legislative process. That's starting to happen, to block the federal government's unconstitutional activities, the federal government itself taken over by international aims. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do. I think the Tea Parties are effective, but they have been co-opted by Glenn Beck and others. And just his past attacks on Ron Paul and others, I mean, he's definitely he's Benedict Arnold. I mean, I have to call him out because he's so dangerous.
No, he's very dangerous. There's no doubt about it.
So continue with your problem with the Tea Party leadership and what type of revolution you're talking about.
Well, going to the Tea Party, the revolution aspect of the question first, I think that I've called for boycotts for the last year, and we've been somewhat effective. I mean, I've called for the Great 9 boycott of several major fast food places, all the auto industries, all 3 of them, Pepsi and Coca-Cola, simply to send a message to corporate America that we're out here, we've got power, we can write your checks, or we can cancel them. I've also called for a one-day work stoppage, which we've not yet instituted. We've not made it effective as of yet. But to have America stop working for one day. Now, the Tea Party people, Dick Armey, I think, floated that idea a couple of months ago, and I called him out on it because I had called for it going back 4 or 5 months ago, that America should shut down for one day completely to let the powers that be know that we're here and we're not going to be marginalized, we're not going to be constitutionally castrated, we're not going to have that happen. And if they don't respond in the one-day work stoppage, then we'll go for a full-week work stoppage. But, of course, you know, Alex, once you do a one-day work stoppage, those that are involved in the process will most probably either arrested and if you go for a one-week work stoppage, the Obama machine will call out the military to try to put down that one-day work stoppage. It will not happen in a vacuum. It will not happen in a peaceful way. And I am not one that advocates shedding blood. That's not something that I want people to think of me first of. But however, that's beginning to float around, and I would like to repeal that as much as possible. But, Alex, I'm convinced that one of the more powerful ways of boycotting this structure, this new corporate Supreme Court law that gives corporations the opportunity to buy candidates, to buy elections, that's exactly what happened last week. And you got to stop the corporations through the power of a 1 week work stoppage. It will turn violent should that happen.
Well, what they did is they said, oh,